Hello everyone and welcome to NLP and the Coronavirus Day 48. And we're back on the Q&A for the Kybalion after our Friday night live with Louis and Rhys Davis with our great high energy session. I hope you enjoyed that. So further questions, these actually came from Christina and also from Adrian. Great questions, particularly about polarity. How do we build polarity? How do we balance polarity? Not only and also how do we use the polarity in the law of gender to create on the different levels, like the physical, the emotional, the mental, and the spiritual. Such great questions that it's going to take me several lives to actually answer them all, and I will do over the next couple of days. So let's just talk about polarity and gender first, just from a real big picture point of view before we start to look in detail about how we'd work with polarity and on each of the different levels. So here we've got the polarity and gender, and in general speaking, what we've got is there's the body, and what we've got is a masculine gender polarity and a feminine gender polarity, and they are opposites attract. So you've got negative pole, positive pole, negative pole. Just like when you're a kid, you got two magnets, north attracts south, south attracts north, boom, they're attracted together rather than repelled. Yeah. And again, just a reminder, positive and negative is about polarity. I think I used the idea of a battery. That's a positive pole and negative pole. The positive pole would be taken as the masculine pole, and the negative would be taken as the feminine. That's, you know, a number of people thought that meant there was masculine was good, feminine was negative. No, we're not talking about those kind of meanings of those words. We're talking about the polarity point of view. And as I mentioned, you know, the flow of energy is actually from the negative, the feminine, to the positive, the masculine. So what we've got here is we've got the gender inside of each of us, whether we're male or female, as well as the polarity. And the thing I want to talk to you about, big picture today, and I know a number of you were saying you wanted to find out more about this. This is a really great book, The Body Electric. It's actually by a medical doctor. I'm a medical doctor, Robert Becker. And he talks there about the importance of an electrical polarity within the human body. Though again, looking at a little bit more detail, the positive pole would be taken as being the masculine and being more electric, whereas the negative pole would be seen as being more feminine and magnetic, which creates the electromagnetic polarity within the body. And, you know, a number of people said, how do we increase our polarity? How do we balance our polarity? All those kind of things. And we're going to talk about that in more detail over the next couple of lives. But what I want to talk to you about today is that sometimes people go into what would be called reverse polarity. So it's like their polarity flips. And the kind of experience you'd have with this is generally kind of like feeling out of sorts, not feeling yourself, feeling low energy, maybe negative thinking, self-sabotage thinking, those kind of things. And the things that could cause a flip in polarity could be an emotional trauma, physical trauma, your environment around you, any of those kind of things. And, you know, if you think about it, although the body we've already talked about is actually operating on AC rather than DC, if we can just use the battery metaphor again, then, you know, when you go into reverse polarity, it's like the battery is flipped the other way around. And, you know, if you put a battery into a piece of electronics like a radio set or a clock or anything like that, and you put the battery in the wrong way round, the radio doesn't work. the electronics unit doesn't work. And that's exactly what happens when your body goes into reverse polarity. And we can actually measure this if you've got a micro voltmeter and you put like the two prongs, if you like, on the the micro voltmeter, and you put the black one on the palm of the hand or onto your thumb, and the red one onto the back of your hand, then the palm or the thumb should be the negative pole, and the back of the hand would be the positive pole. So when you do that and you measure microvolts, this is a millionth of a volt, very, very small amount of voltage, then what you should see is a positive number. Sometimes when you do that, it comes up with a negative number, which means that you've gone into what's called reverse polarity, in that this is flipped. Yep. So I want to teach you a technique that will enable you to make sure that your polarity is the right way round. Essentially, that you can make sure that your battery is in the right way round before we start doing anything about increasing polarity or balancing male and female polarity. Let's make sure the battery's in the right way round in the first place. And this technique we use in Fix My Mind a lot. And we don't actually measure people. We thought that was a bit geeky, a little bit nerdy. So what we do is we do this technique anyway, because, you know, if you do this technique and your polarity is fine, it won't have any effect, it won't have any detrimental effect. But if you are in reverse polarity, it will put you back into the proper polarity for your neurology and your body. And it's a technique that comes from EFT, or emotional freedom techniques, which is again based on the fact that we have an energy body, and also based on certain pressure points or acupuncture points in the body. And this is how you can do the technique, and we're going to do it. And what I suggest is that we actually do it together and see what happens whilst we do that. And let me just explain it first. The first one is we tap here, the underside of the little finger. We're going to do that around about 20 times. Then we're going to tap the top of the index finger around about 20 times. Then with the right hand, we're going to tap underneath your nose and above your lip 20 times. Then with your left hand, we're going to tap underneath your lower lip and above your chin 20 times. Then we're going to tap the top of the index finger of the left hand with the right hand 20 times, and then finish off tapping the bottom of the little finger 20 times. So what we're doing is we're making a triangle right from here to here to here to here to here to here. Okay, I'm going to do it 20 times. So if you're not in a place where you could actually do that now, what I suggest is you actually pause this. But if you are, then let's go. Yeah, so we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20. Now, if your body were in reverse polarity before you did that, it will now be in the appropriate polarity, the non-reverse polarity. So, you know, it's again, I've tested this with a microvoltmeter, and when I've tested myself or tested somebody else, or tested a client, and they tested to be reverse polarity, as in this, the thumb was the positive and the back of the hand was the negative. Then we did that particular, it's called the polarity reversal triangle in emotional freedom technique, or EFT. Then I get the meter out again and check them again. Then what we'll find is that it will come back to being negative on here and positive on here. So it actually works electrically. I've demonstrated that, proven that using a microvolt meter. Yeah. So, ritual, great thing from an energy point of view. First thing in the day is to get up and actually to do that process. It only takes like a minute, 2 minutes. And what it'll do is if you've gotten out of bed and you're in reverse polarity, then it means you can put yourself back into the appropriate polarity for the rest of the day. Okay, so there's a useful technique for you, a little bit different from what we've been covering in the past, but very practical to enable you to actually make changes within yourself. And what we're going to do for the next couple of lives is I'm going to continue now answering Christina and Adrian's questions about how do we build the polarity, how do we balance the polarity of male and female inside of us at each of the different 4 levels or the 7 levels, and then also a question about how do we go about using the rule of gender and the rule of polarity to be able to create on the different levels, because obviously I think everybody knows how to make the creation of the gender and polarity on the physical level, but because of the law of correspondence we can also do the same thing on the non-physical levels, and I'm going to talk about that over the next couple of lives. So wherever you are in the world, I love you lots, and hui ho.